Hello students. Up to now we discussed about the electrical machines, transformers and induction machines and DC motors. These are the different type of electrical machines. In this class we discussed about the synchronous generator. The another name of this is the alternator. Alternator. First, we will understand this synchronous generator. Synchronous generator, it generates three-phase AC supply. Three-phase AC supply. The rotor rotates with synchronous speed here. Rotation with synchronous speed. What is synchronous speed? Synchronous speed is the ns. Is known as synchronous generator. Why it is called synchronous generator? The rotor rotates with the synchronous speed. That's why it's synchronous. It is a generator which generates the three-phase AC supply. That's why it's called three-phase generator. The other name is three-phase AC power. It generates three-phase AC power. AC means alternating quantity. AC means alternating power or alternating quantity. That's why it is called as the alternator. It is called as the alternator. Yeah, it is highly used generator. So we are generating most number of power generators. For example, we have more number of power plants. In the thermal is the main thermal power stations are the main sources power, electrical power, and now nuclear is also roles very important, and hydel also. So we know that thermal power plants like KTPS and hydel like Srisailam Nagarjuna Sagar power plants are hydel power plants. So those all are nothing but the synchronous generators. That's why the synchronous generator analyzing is very important. Yes? Okay. So we know that synchronous generator generates with the speed of synchronous speed. You know that the synchronous speed ns equal to 120 f by p. So ns synchronous speed, f is the frequency of the supply, frequency of the generation, and p are the number of poles. Number of poles. Right. And this construction is same as it is look like a DC, but we have small differences in that. Those are, so every machine like this is a generator having two parts. First part is the stator and second part is the rotor. First part is the stator and second part is the rotor. So stator, here stator is armature. Stator is armature and rotor is field. So the machine which consisting of the armature is the stator and field as the rotor is known as the synchronous generator or alternator. Synchronous generator or alternator. So the reason why the stator armature and why the rotor field is will be discussed in the alternator. So if you observe the diagram, so this shows this is the rotor field. Look at here. Field means it consisting of north pole and south pole, and we will get this field by applying the DC supply, north pole and south pole. This will be rotates. This is the rotates. We are applying the rotation here. Look at here. This F is the field. Look at here. The supply DC supply will be given to this field, and This part is the armature and stator. So the round parts are stator conductors. Stator conductor. This A dash is R phase. It will generate the R phase, and B dash is generates the Y phase, three phase supply. C dash is generate the B phase. So in three phase, red, yellow, blue. Red one phase, Y one phase, B one phase. For three phases we have three different type of arrangement of the winding to collect the power. Right? Look at here. So this is the alternator. This part is the field, and this R phase will be generated in this winding. Y phase will be generated in this winding. Z phase, B phase will be generated in this winding. Look at it. This is the main construction diagram of the three-phase alternator. Three-phase alternator. Understand? Simply, the synchronous generator which generates the three-phase AC power with the rotor synchronous speed. Rotor rotates always with synchronous speed is known as the synchronous generator. Next, we will discuss the construction of the alternator. So any machine we have two construction, one is stator, another one is rotor. We already discussed the stator is field. Stator is field and the rotor is armature. Why we are using the stator is stator is armature? Why we are not using the armature means here stator generates field means which produce the main field flux. That main field flux rotates with the synchronous speed. This flux is rotates with the synchronous speed. Armature is collection of conductors and it is for collecting the three-phase power. We are collecting the three-phase power from the armature only. Three-phase power. Collection of power from the this is rotor. Just rotor is the field and this is the stator. Stator is the armature. Collecting the three-phase power. Collecting the power from stationary device is easy. That's why armature is used as stator. The reason is three-phase power from stationary part is easy. Otherwise, to collect the power from the rotating part is difficult. That's why in DC generators, the collecting the power is difficult. So, for the easy purpose, we are using. Why we are, in DC is very less rating, but these alternators high rated machines. Most important. That's why alternators are highly rated machines. Highly rated machines. So that is the reason. Simple reason. The collecting the power from the stationary part is simple. That's why armature is used as the stator. Next, we will discuss the construction details of the alternator. First, stator. Stator. Look at the stator. Stator having. Stator. Look at here. This is the stator. Stator having. Stator. It consists of the more number of slots and with windings. More number of slots with windings. Look at here. This place is the slots place actually. This place is the slots. Look at here. This is the winding. You see, these are the slots. This red color is the winding. Slot is nothing but a place. Slot is nothing but the place. For example, we can look at here. This is the one slot and this is the winding. This is the winding. Look at here, the winding connection. And windings are arranged windings are arranged to collect the collecting the three-phase power. To collect the three-phase power, that means we will get the three-phase power. So some slots for R winding, some slots for R winding, some slots for Y winding, some slots for B winding. Okay. In stator is made with silicon steel. It is laminated to reduce the eddy current. Any machine generally it is laminated to reduce eddy current losses. What are eddy current losses? Eddy current losses are generated due to the conductive nature of this. Yes, and so this is about the slots. You know that everything. This is the yoke. These are the slots. This is about the stator of the alternator. The most important part is the rotor. Rotor, you know that rotor rotates with synchronous speed. Rotates with synchronous speed. So you know that what is synchronous speed. And we have two different type of construction. The first type of rotor is salient type rotor. Salient pole rotor. And second one is cylindrical rotor. First thing is the salient pole rotor. The saliency means projecting first. Saliency means first thing is the salient means projecting. What is that meaning? Projecting means, look at here. These are the salient poles. If you observe this pole is look like this. So look at here. This pole is look like this. This pole is projected, expanded. Look at here. This pole is extended. This pole construction is like this. And it will form the north pole. So projecting. Why this type of construction? This construction is look like large diameter, consisting of the large diameter and small axial length. Axial length is less and diameter is high. So they look like this diameter is very high. Diameter means this part to this part is nothing but the diameter. Axial length means we are seeing from the top view, we will get some length, that is the axial length. And why this need of the construction is, it is used for low speed applications. So in this low speed applications, this is designed for low speed applications. What is that low speed application? That means the speed is in between 100 to 400 rpm. This amount of speeds it will be useful. Otherwise we are using cylindrical type. Where we are using examples, in which power plants we are using? In hydel power plants and diesel engines. In diesel engines also these are useful. These are the useful. Okay, and we have some more points here. You know that what is pole core and pole shoe. So you know that this is called as this part is called as the pole shoe, and this part is called as the pole core. Pole shoe and pole core. And what is pole pitch? Pole pitch means there is generally there is a gap between these two poles. We have one pole and we have another pole. This area is known as the pole pitch, this complete area. So look at here. So this area, pole pitch of this pole, and this area, pole pitch of this pole, and we have pole shoe. It will cover, pole shoe will cover, we can write a thing that is pole shoe will cover 2/3 of the pole core. 2/3 of the pole core. That means this pole core is consisting of the 2/3 perimeter of the complete pole shoe. Understand? You know this is the pole shoe. Sorry, we get some difference. This is the pole shoe. It's like a shoe model. That's why it is called the pole shoe. It is the core. Core always consisting of the winding. That's why it is pole core. So this pole shoe, this area will cover 2/3 of this area. This is about the salient pole rotor. So these are the windings. Actually, these are the windings. These windings are given by these windings are excited by the DC supply. All are simply given by the DC supply. Whenever DC supply is given, the DC current will flow into all the windings. Whenever the windings are formed, we will get some poles. This is north pole and south pole, north pole, south pole, north pole, south pole, north pole, south pole. Even number of poles will be formed. Even number of poles will be formed. By using this flux, we will generate the EMF in the armature. We will generate the EMF in the armature. Next, cylindrical rotor. Next, look at here. So this is the cylindrical rotor. It's look like a cylinder. Look at here. It's look like a cylinder, and these are for the windings. These are for the windings. So windings will flow this part to this part. This is the winding, and windings. This part windings are like this. So whenever windings are like this, it will form one north pole and south pole like this. So if you observe the salient pole rotor here, salient pole rotor is extended like this. It's like north pole and south pole, north pole, south pole. This is the difference. Okay. So this is about the cylindrical rotor. We will discuss some points. What is the requirement of the cylindrical rotor? For high speed operation, it is used for high speed operation like thermal power plants. Generally, thermal power plants are very high speed highly speed operation is possible. The speed is, and it consisting of the rating, these high thermal power plants. Thermal plants having the rating generally very high rating, that is 100 MVA to 1500 MVAs. Okay, 100 MVA to 1500 MVA. And the speed, it consisting of the speed generally it is 1500 RPM to and 3000 RPM. And more than this speed also it is possible, but generally for this it is useful. Okay, This cylindrical rotor uniform length all direction. It has uniform length in all directions. And this by that uniform we will get it will giving cylindrical shape. So it is uniform length, then automatically it is cylindrical shape. But in salient pole it is the projecting poles, that's why it doesn't have the cylindrical shape. And by this shape it will provide uniform flux, that's why it will produce uniform flux. That is the reason. In order to produce the uniform flux, this type of cylindrical shape is required. Yes? Okay. The rotor consists of smooth solid steel cylinder. It is smooth, it is a very smooth solid type steel cylinder. It is also made with the steel cylinder. All are made with the cylinder core only. Having number of slots outer periphery. It has the number of slots on outer periphery. That's why look at here slots, look at slots, these are outer periphery. But what about this? Number of slots are inner periphery in this rotor. That's why it is inner periphery. These are extended outer. That's why this is the outer periphery. Yes. So generally any cylindrical rotor, generally it is made with 2 or 4 less poles. Generally it has 2 or 4 poles consisting of the 2 or 4 poles. If number of poles are 2 and it rotates with the speed of 120 F by P. So 120, general our Indian frequency is 50, number of poles are 2. Then it rotates with the speed of 3000 rpm. 3000 rpm. If the number of poles are 4, then ns equal to 120 50 by 4. It is rotates with the 1500 rpm. These are the two speeds generally used in cylindrical rotors. Cylindrical rotors. So this is the construction of the cylindrical rotor as well as salient pole rotor. Salient pole rotor means it is projecting. Cylindrical rotor means it look like a cylinder, straight part. So cylindrical rotor is for high rating, this is for low rating. This speed has 1500 to 3000 rpm, this speed only 100 to 400 rpm. This is difference between the cylindrical rotor and the salient pole rotor. This is the construction of the alternator. Now we will discuss the working of alternator. We already discussed about the construction of alternator. Now we will discuss the working of alternator. So first, once again we will look at the stator and rotor. First we have to look at the rotor. Generally here we are using the rotor is field which will rotate. Rotor is field rotates with synchronous speed. How it rotates? By giving by mechanical power. We have to give the mechanical power to that. So first you have to take a rotor. Just I am taking the 2-pole rotor. This is the two-pole rotor, and one is assume that north pole, another one is assume that south pole, and this is rotates with, and this is rotates with synchronous speed. Rotates with synchronous speed. How it rotates? We have to give by giving the mechanical power. Understand? By giving the mechanical power. What about stator? Stator is armature having stationary part. Generally it is a stationary part useful for collecting the power. How it collects we will discuss here. So for that just draw a stator here, understand, and is having more number of slots and more number of conductors, consisting of the like this, and it consisting of the slots and the conductors. So conductors in the top view I represents like this. Represents like this. This is the armature having the more number of conductors. So generally how it generates, generally the DC supply is given to produce the poles, understand. Rotor poles will get by excited by DC supply. So by giving the DC supply, poles will be generated, and by mechanical power, rotator will up to synchronous speed. That means by giving the rotation, the rotor rotates with the synchronous speed. So rotor is try to rotate with the synchronous speed. Whenever it rotates, generally here when it is forms a north pole and south pole, always north pole give flux line to south pole. This is also north pole will give the flux lines to south pole, and this is also like this. So these north poles will give the supply to south pole, right? So by the rotation, these flux lines will be entered into the conductors. These flux lines will be entered into the conductors. Understand? Whenever these flux lines, we have a flux and flux is rotates with the synchronous speed, then flux is cuts the conductors. That means the Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, the EMF will be induced across. EMF will be induced by this cutting like this, cross and south like this. EMF will be induced. Why this cross? Cross is current is going downwards. The cross means current is going downwards. Dot means current is coming upwards, right? So this current generation is possible. This is the cross and dot, like that. So by Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, the EMF will be generated across all these conductors, and these conductors are one side like this. Conductors are like this. Shorted, one side is shorted, then automatically one side is EMF is generated and other side is zero. Then the currents will be produced. These three-phase currents will be produced across these conductors. These three-phase currents are collected by the load. So it is connected to some load. For that load, we will conduct the three-phase power. We will get the three-phase power. So this is the load current. We will get the three-phase power. Understand? So we will write some points. First, rotor will get excited DC supply synchronous speed. By rotation of the rotor, by rotor rotation, by the rotor rotation, the flux will be, flux also rotates with synchronous speed. It will be entered into the conductors of the armature. Armature consisting lot of conductors. Conductors of armature. Whenever conductors cuts the stator flux by Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, the EMF will be generated in the conductors. The EMF will be generated. So you know that how it happens, we discussed in the transformer, generated in conductors. The armature conductors arranged in three-phase manner. To generate the three-phase currents. And this generated three-phase power is supplied to the grid or the load. So this is the generation process of the three-phase synchronous generator. A simple thing, we are converting, simple, keep in your mind, just we are giving the mechanical power by giving the alternator or three-phase generator, synchronous generator, and we will get the electrical power. But electrical power is three-phase AC power. Don't forget, this electrical power is three-phase AC power. What we are doing, we are creating a field by giving this DC supply. The north pole, south pole is formed. The flux will be formed, and by the mechanical power, we will rotate with the synchronous speed. Whenever it rotates with the synchronous speed, the flux is also rotates with the synchronous speed. Then the rotation flux cut these conductors. By Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, the EMF will be generated across all these conductors. The generated AC power will be collected by the load. This is the process occurred in the alternator. Due to the less time, I briefly explain about this. Okay, otherwise we have more number of methods to explain it. Okay, this is the working of the alternator. In case of induction motor, we require the torque, but in case of here, we require the electrical power. We are generating the electrical power by giving the mechanical power as input. Okay, so this is about working of the alternator. Okay, thank you.